This is Nosey with Good Intentions, the podcast.
In every nook and cranny.
This is Michael.
And Kirk. Guiding your noses today.
That worked! I'm so glad we don't actually use the recording of us saying that shit. Woo!
How about when we tried to switch it and neither one of us know what the other one says? How sad was that? I knew what you said. You didn't know what I said.
Hell no, I didn't know what to say. I had to look at you
I knew you didn't listen to me. You never do.
That's not my part.
You're just waiting for me to stop talking so then it's your turn.
Yes, that's it.
I hear you.
I have mine memorized, not yours. Yeah. So
what's on your mind?
So we address these topics on the live.
We're tackling the live topics.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
But we'll probably only get to one of them because, we tend to just be on one topic. But
maybe over time.
Yeah, that'll work. All right.
It's hard to tackle a topic in the live.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of moving parts.
Right. And then, I'm gracious for those people who came on, but everybody has an opinion until it's time to give you an opinion.
Right. Then they get a little nervous.
Yeah. They're like,
they get a little.
Not camera ready.
Yeah.
I had a few people respond that way. They was like, no, I'm not camera ready.
Yeah.
But they could have came on. I wasn't camera ready. I was just on camera.
Guess you were camera ready.
Nope, I was not. But what is on my mind today is, do you think time heals all wounds?
I do.
You do?
Oh no! Oh, I'm still recovering.
A week later.
Here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
My initial response is no.
Okay.
Because that's the truth. Time doesn't heal it. Action does. This is what I'm saying, though.
Okay.
What I think that time does heal might not be the right word.
Okay.
Okay, let's say you have a parent that passes away.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, my dad, I'd be devastated if, when that day comes. It will.
Right. Everybody's going to die at some point.
Right. Die and pay taxes. That's our guarantees in life.
Right.
But every year hurts less. Even if you don't deal with their death in any way.
Okay.
The first year is going to hurt 70%.
Okay.
2 years later, it'll hurt 60%.
Okay.
Over time, as it's further and further from that event, our brains just work that way. So time does heal in that way.
Okay.
But to me, it's action that truly is what heals and heals us as human beings.
Like true healing, not just it's less of a vivid memory.
Right. It's less, we're just further away from it time-wise. To me, if you, let's say a parent, we'll just go with the parent death. Here's the thing. I love my parents. I hope they die before I do.
Well, duh.
Just because chronologically, you've already had your life. I'd like to finish out mine. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's just start there.
This is going to be a good one. Yes, sir.
I want you to die first. I will be devastated, but I want you to die first because I've got a little more time left.
Okay.
You've had time that I wasn't here to live.
Oh, that's fucked up. Continue.
But when my, we'll take my mom, for example. Knock on wood. We'll take my mom. If my mom goes before my dad, my dad may or may not be a little bit of a hoarder. So me and my sister are going to be a little busy, cleaning some shit out from the hoarding, keeping the hoarding at bay.
Right.
So that action, we're going to love our mom. But that action, we're going to have to really be rolling through that. So we're going to have to deal with it. With action of, Pappy Q, no ma'am, you cannot keep 75 things that you don't need.
Yeah, I'm good at not hoarding.
I think another thing is we'll use my dad this time. Let's say that my dad passes away before my mom. Knock on wood, this is 40, 50, 60 years from now. My mom is the opposite of a hoarder.
She throws shit away.
So me and my sister, part of our action will be, why don't we keep this one shirt,
just one memory
of my dad, and I'll put it in my closet. You'll never have to see it again.
But it exists. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think also like the action of having good memories with that person.
Okay.
Like, Dia de los Muertos. What I love about that holiday,
yes,
and I'm still learning a lot because, you know, I was not born into that tradition.
Right.
So I'm learning later in life.
Okay.
But one thing that I love about it is essentially you just gather with a bunch of people and you have these really fun memories.
Yeah, you talk about.
And you eat.
Yeah.
There's no downside to this holiday. Do you know what I'm saying? You get to see people that you want to see because you invite them.
Right.
And then you get to like laugh about memories.
The good times with that dead person.
And then you get to eat.
Okay. That's how I'm down. Yeah, I'm in too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Panties put a little hitch in the celebrating of the getting together.
Okay.
But part of that, like, even let's say my sister. I hope she also passes before me. She's got 5 years ahead of me. But let's say that she untimely, knock on wood.
All right. You just nonchalantly.
I would be devastated.
Right.
But I think of all the times, like, my sister is a lunatic. She makes me laugh all the time.
Okay.
Thinking of those good memories with her, I'm going to miss her.
Right.
But as you know, like I tell other people about it or, you know, share a story on potty, right. You know, my laughter, like I'm a laugher.
Yeah. Clearly.
I'm at a funeral.
Wait, what?
Let me tell you about my grandpa's funeral. Okay. Remember, you know, my God, that's an ugly baby.
My God.
That's my mom's aunt.
Okay. So that's your great aunt.
So my mom's dad, my grandpa, brother and sister.
Okay.
So he's the one that said to my sister and my cousin, if you keep running through that kitchen door, you won't fit through it. Because they were eating.
Right.
So at his funeral, me and my cousin, Ginger seasoning. We'll call him Ginger seasoning.
Okay.
At the time, Scary Movie was very popular.
The first one?
The strong hand one.
Oh, the second one, yeah.
Second one.
My strong hand.
So listen, so there's so many of us. Like in the lobby of the church, we're like all the way around the lobby. So he's standing beside me. So the line is coming, him first, and then they come to me.
Okay.
So this man,
he
had a strong hand. He comes up to my cousin, Ginger Seasoning, shakes his hand. I see it. I know this man. I've grown up in the church with this same man.
He's had that strong hand for a long time.
I know he's got the strong hand. I see him shake my cousin's hand and I go, I got to pull it together. As he then takes one step over, me and Ginger Seasoning are standing side by side, takes one step over, my cousin leans into my ear and goes, he shook me with his strong hand. When I tell you, I burst laughing into this man's face while shaking his strong hand.
Oh, hell no.
My mom is on the other side and she is yelling. This is my grandfather's funeral.
So that's her dad.
Her dad. She's yelling. Stop doing that.
Doing what?
Laughing? We are in tears laughing so hard. But here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
My grandfather, that was probably the best part of his funeral.
What you mean?
He would have loved that. He would have been standing right there with us, and he probably would have said, there's that hand, or something like that to this man. He would have loved that.
To his face?
Oh, yeah. So, like, laughter for me is an action that sort of what I'm talking about with action. Like,
yes, sir.
I miss my grandfather.
Right.
Bless him. Mm-hmm. But being able to tell that story and knowing that he loves that story, even though he wasn't actually present for it.
He was watching from the stage.
Oh, love. On the stage. He's laughing on the stage. That means everything to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm a time does heal.
Okay.
A lot slower than action.
Okay.
But I think everybody deals with, breakups. Maybe let's get off the death topic. I just rolled right into death, didn't I?
A little morbid.
Well, I'll tell you one more story. Hold on. So this is why I tell people when we become friends, I say, or coworkers,
we're just coworkers.
If you're a person that doesn't want to laugh at bad news, don't tell me. Because my brain reacts before I can stop it. And this is the example that I give. So me and this girl that I went to college with, we'll call her Cruise Ship.
Okay.
So me and Cruise Ship are hanging out at the apartment, my apartment. And while we're hanging out, her aunt calls. Mm-hmm. And they have this weird exchange of, eventually the phone comes to me.
How you get the phone? Did you know her aunt?
Her mother, sorry. Her mother called.
You know her mom?
I met her once or twice.
So you're not supposed to even talk to her.
So I'm like, she starts handing the phone to me, Cruise Ship. And I go, huh? And I'm like, hello? And the mom, says, can Cruise Ship stay with you? Are y'all in a hurry? Are y'all about to leave each other's presence?
Okay.
You know, can she stay? We're just hanging out. She can stay as long as she wants to stay. Okay, great. I'm about to tell her aunt just died.
What the fuck?
And I went, oh, sure. Okay. Well, I'm going to give the phone back.
Yeah, like you got to play it off.
Why are you telling me now? Anyway, it became a funny story. So anyway, I'm going, what? Okay. And I'm handing the phone back, like trying not to like give anything away.
Right.
Anyway, the reason I'm calling her Cruise Ship is her aunt died
on a cruise ship. Oh, hell.
So anyway, her aunt loves cruises. So now the phone is back to Cruise Ship.
Oh, Lord.
The news is broken.
Yes.
And she's, of course, devastated. This is her favorite aunt. She loves this woman, blah, 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 blah. So they hang up, and we're sitting there. Well, this other girl, Biscuit, turns out Biscuit comes back into play.
Yay.
Biscuit lived in the same apartment complex. So this is before me and Biscuit were roommates. Okay. This was like a month or two before me and Biscuit became roommates. In the apartment complex, Biscuit pulls in and sees me and Cruise Ship, and I go, hey, come on over. Because I'm thinking,
tag you in.
Let's give her support, blah, blah, blah. Uh-huh. So here comes Biscuit. Biscuit's a little slow sometimes.
Was she still crying? Cruise Ship was still crying?
She was teared up.
Okay.
And, I'm going, I am so sorry, blah, blah, blah. So here comes Biscuit. And Biscuit goes, Cruise Ship, are you okay?
No.
And she goes, well, my mom just called. My aunt died, and she's on a cruise. And Biscuit says something to the effect of, they put her on a cruise? Here's the thing. I couldn't resist. I went, yep, she died. And they said, send her ass around on the cruise ship. She loved that shit.
The girl?
Cruise Ship is crying, laughing so hard because that's what I said to Biscuit.
But that helped.
Let me tell you, she still to this day, I think she talks about that day. But that helps her because she thinks of all these positive memories of her aunt. And then this moment with Biscuit where I couldn't help it. But I tell that story as a warning of, if you're like, I want you to like sit here and console and cry with me, I might not be the one. I'll try, but I may not be the right one. You might want to call somebody else just in case. I might want to be your call number 2.
You're horrible, sir.
Well, but I think it's because my entire family, bless them, boss. It's because the girl story.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Bless them. Butter.
He all right.
Just open the door. Put the camera on me and then open the door.
I'll change the angle.
Let him out. Because I think once he sees it, he'll be fine.
He ain't gonna get run over.
Well, surely he's in there by now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, but it's because my entire family, that's how we deal with pretty much everything.
15 minutes. Okay, cool.
Like my surgery. I hope my dad doesn't listen. So.
Oh, you say he don't listen?
I hope he doesn't. So anyway,
we already wish
my
death on him.
my dad has turned into his mother with this surgery.
Okay.
He had quadruple bypass surgery.
Yeah.
While I was having my surgery, he had his first.
All three of y'all.
So anyway, he now walks exactly like my grandmother, his mother.
Did your grandmother have any type of surgeries?
No, she was perfectly healthy her entire life. Anyway,
okay.
She's the one that all she had to do was take one pill every morning to keep her heart on the right rhythm. And she was like, nah.
How old is she?
70-something.
She passed at 70-something?
Yeah.
Okay.
By choice.
What do you mean by choice?
Well, because that was her personality.
What do you mean?
She was very like, everything was on her timeline, on what she wanted to do, when she wanted to do, who she wanted to talk with. And I think she told us at Thanksgiving, she gave me a hug and she said, I'm okay to go. And it didn't hit me till later that she meant I now have this pill that all I have to do is stop taking it and I can control when it's my time to go. And she likes that.
I ain't with that.
So she did. Anyway, so she stopped taking it and she died. That's
the grandmother who gave you that blanket from a college that you never attended? Okay.
Correct. You're catching on.
Okay, fair enough. Touche.
So anyway, my mom, in an effort to deal with like her husband, almost, had to have quadruple bypass surgery.
Right.
She goes, well, Teeny's walking again.
Who the fuck is Teeny?
My dad. My grandmother was Teeny.
Oh,
that was her nickname.
Because he was walking like her. Got you.
So anyway, that's how she sort of laughs it off. Like, he's fine.
All right.
It's just going to take time to heal. But he's turning into his mother.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. So she's also processing, I'm now married to the woman that hated me and I also hated her. His mother.
All right.
And he's turning into full-blown her. So anyway, I think laughter is just how we deal with stuff as a family.
Yes, sir. You're horrible.
I just think that's how we do it. We've just always done it that way.
Right.
Not that it's the right way. It just seems to be working fine.
All right.
You know what I mean? Do you think time heals, or do you think it requires action, or do you think there's anything more to it?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think time heals diddly squat. I think, and I don't mean to sound harsh. I think that time, I do think it hurts less, but I think because the memory of whatever caused the hurt is less intense, I think you start getting to the point where the memory, you start losing, even if you don't realize it, I think you indirectly lose pieces of that memory, even if it's small stuff. Like, I'm going to tell a fucked up story. So
who are we shouting on?
On me. So I was a young, super young. We lived in Rochester, New York. This is before I even moved.
That's another one to add to the list of where we don't live.
So this is my parents were still married. We were up there in Rochester, New York. And we were at this is how I know there's more to the memory, but in a nutshell.
Okay.
We're at my parents' friend's house.
Okay.
Me and I think I was playing outside with a kid, their kid, whoever they were. I don't even remember who they are. That's how, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's not a hurt memory. It's just a memory in general.
Okay.
We're outside playing, blah, blah, blah. And I have to take a shit. Like immediately. I am knocking on the back door. I'm knocking on the front door. I am frantically trying to get in this house. They have new grass.
So you decided
the one that has the panels that you can lift up. The pieces of yard.
The squares.
Yes. So I say, well, fuck it. Ain't nobody trying to open this door. So I take the nearest patch in the backyard and lift it up and relieve myself.
Well, fertilizer. I bet that patch still grows better than the rest of them.
To this day. So take a shit. I put it back down. I have no toilet paper. The reason why I say memories fade is because I don't remember. I remember getting my ass whipped for doing shitting in the yard.
Shatting. We shat on something.
Absolutely. But I don't remember if I ever wiped. I don't remember what happened after that. But I remember the whooping, and I remember shitting in somebody's yard at like 9. And I say all that to say, the major parts or the smaller, minute details of that memory, I don't remember.
Okay.
And I think that's what happens with hurt.
It's a lot of detail.
What I just gave? Well,
I mean, that's a lot of detail if you think about it.
Yeah, but I don't remember what I had on.
From 9.
But I don't remember what clothes I had on. I don't remember whose house we were at.
Okay. I'm going to say, if you remember...
You're going to shat on my shit?
Well, I was going to say, in general,
yes,
if you're able to recall literally the outfit you were wearing...
Mm-hmm. Well, I should at least remember whose house we were at. No?
Didn't you move from there shortly after that?
Give or take, I moved wherever I lived.
At 10?
Yeah. Fourth grade, yeah. Is that 10? Yeah. Okay, yeah, 10.
So...
Yeah. I mean, but I'm just saying in general.
Like, I'll give you an example.
Okay. You go, I'm going to go reload my beverages.
My dad was a state trooper in a state north of here for I don't know how many years.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, he stopped being a state trooper in that state because he got ran over by a transfer truck on duty. Anyway, that's a whole nother day. He's fine. He's still alive, had quadruple bypass surgery 3 weeks ago. So anyway, 4 weeks ago now.
Yes, sir.
So anyway.
I'm back. We back.
When I was roughly 10, 11 years old, we went back to that state.
Yes, sir.
For a softball game.
Okay.
I remember going to that state. I remember going to the softball tournament. I remember there being a bunch of fields. I couldn't take you back to where we were, but I remember there being a lot of different baseball fields, softball fields.
Right.
And I remember we stayed in a certain city.
Okay.
In one of his friends' apartments, condo. And I have a vague idea of sort of how it looked. I know there were 2 bedrooms, sort of looked like a hotel room.
Okay.
Well, I think it had been a converted hotel into a condo.
Oh, gotcha.
And I remember having this notebook because my mom wouldn't let me ask any questions out loud. So I had to write all my questions down. And then she said she would answer them on the way back home.
She probably didn't want you to say no wild shit out loud.
Well, you know, I would have said something.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't,
PC.
Well, I was inquisitive.
Yes, that's how we
got
to
this. I was nosy with good intentions.
Yes. What a coincidence.
So I was really just nosy with no intentions because I didn't care either way.
Right. You just wanted to know.
I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Or something would pop up and I'd be like, what's that?
Yeah.
So anyway, I remember that he and his girlfriend lived there and we weren't allowed to ask about the girlfriend because mother was a little upset that he was living with his girlfriend. Not his wife.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, that's just a random part of that memory. But anyway, part of that visit, we went and saw my parents' best friends. They have a son who is in between me and my sister age-wise.
Okay.
But because we were both boys, we hung out.
Right.
My sister didn't really care.
Yeah.
So anyway, 2 months ago, randomly, my dad shows me a picture of this boy that I hung out with once.
Mm-hmm.
I could not, there was 3 people in the photo. I couldn't tell you which one it was. Couldn't tell you which one he was. I have no memory of him. I have a picture of the 2 of us. And we looked very similar in the picture. We both had like bleach blonde hair. Caucasian.
White.
And I remember we rode, he had that motorized 4-wheeler, but it was the Fisher-Price.
Oh, cool. Like a Power Wheel.
Power Wheels.
Yeah.
And I remember we rode around the yard in that.
So you remember
And I remember when we left, I sat in the back windshield and I cried because I didn't want to leave.
Because you're having fun.
Because I was having fun with my best friend that I don't even know his name. I couldn't tell you his name to save my life.
Yes,
and
sir.
looking at a picture
of him
2 months ago, there were 3 guys in the picture. I didn't know which one was which one.
Did you know which one was you?
No, I wasn't in the picture.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait,
it was a recent picture. He wanted to show me, here's this recent
he's all grown
picture.
Up, yeah.
Well, because he's huge and I lost a lot of weight.
So he's fat.
So we were both huge together. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, So I couldn't have told you which one he was in the picture. Had no idea. No,
yeah, you met one time.
I cried because we were leaving the house of this boy.
You remember that because you remember, or somebody told you?
No, I remember.
Oh, okay.
I remember crying, looking out the back of the car, and waving, crying. I vividly remember it.
But you don't remember what he looked like.
Couldn't tell you which one he was in the picture. Had no clue. But what I was going to say was, back to chatting in the yard. I was like 10 or 11, roughly the same age. One time I met this person.
Right.
We have not spoken to each other nor seen each other in real life since then. Yeah. I'm not surprised you don't remember.
Yes, but I think that still applies even from adult memories.
Well, I don't think you give a shit, but...
What do you mean I don't give a shit? Me?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think... Okay, let's say...
I mean, obviously a really fucked up breakup or somebody dying is a lot more traumatic than shitting in somebody's backyard.
Well, but I think different things mark us differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think because I cried in that back windshield, that stuck with me.
The crying, yes.
Because I stopped crying.
Yeah, but
I cried my entire childhood.
You're a crybaby?
Overall, whatever.
You're a crybaby?
Didn't matter. Yeah, I guess so.
At least you're honest. I was waiting for you to be like,
I didn't really cry. I cried over weird stuff. It was like that. We were leaving that guy's house. I didn't cry until we were in the car. Like, he probably never knew I was crying.
Right.
But I know I was crying.
But that's not weird, though. Kids cry about, like, even
but you know what I'm saying?
The moment. Maybe.
Like, I cried from first grade from kindergarten to fifth grade. No, sixth grade. No, fifth grade. From kindergarten to fifth grade, I cried the first day of school every day.
Wow.
Every first day of school, every year.
Yeah, but after the first 2 or 3, you should have been like, well, this is what it is.
I don't know. Don't know. Yeah, couldn't tell you.
Well, I don't remember any of that.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember crying the first day of school every year until sixth grade because I was too nervous to cry. But around that same time, around sixth grade, is when I didn't cry.
Okay.
Like, when I think through the years, from middle school on, I could probably count how many times I've cried. Less than 10.
As basically
2 hands.
Okay. Well, maybe you got it all out when you was little.
I think I ran out of tears. Yeah. Has been my joke for years.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Maybe certain things don't impact you or negatively or positively affect you now versus way back then. Because I have like fucked up memories from childhood. Like, I remember when I was in fifth grade, I'm not going to say the name of the school because you'll probably know exactly where we're from, or where I'm from, not from, but where I grew up. But this elementary school, fifth grade, this girl, I had a super duper crush on her. I thought she was super fine. Her name was Jennifer Nichols. That doesn't matter because that's a very common name. You don't know how any of it's spelled or anything. So I'm going to say her name, Jennifer Nichols. To this day, I remember because it hurt my feelings.
I bet I could find her.
No, I've looked for her as a young adult.
Okay.
Well, a teenager, whatever. But I look for her. She probably don't look the same. But anyway, I used to have a super duper crush on her. And I don't remember if I used to ask her out all the time or just.
You were her Urkel.
Yes, pretty much. I was Urkel. I'm still Urkel, just now I don't have to beg. But I still.
You're Urkel.
I hate you.
You've graduated to Stefan Urkel.
Thank you, sir. My dog. But no, so.
You're welcome, camera one. I knew everybody was talking about it.
Whatever. So I used to really like her. And I would write her notes and all this shit. She never gave me a shot, right? So finally, she's like, you want me to be your girlfriend? Something to that effect. And I was like, well, duh. I'm sure I didn't say it in that way, but essentially I said, yes, I want to date you. She's like, okay, you can be my boyfriend. I was thrilled. And at the end of the school day, she was like, psych.
Was it April Fool's?
Hell no. It crushed my little heart. Aww. But see, whatever. But I think those moments.
And now look at you.
Whatever. I don't even know what she looks like
Killing
now.
the game.
I'm trash. Anyway. But when we think about it, maybe if it's traumatic, and I'm sure that wasn't traumatic in 5th grade, but
I'm sure that was traumatic for a 5th grader.
Yes, but that wouldn't be traumatic now.
It might be.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Well, I ain't letting nobody play me like that at 37 years old, but I'm just saying.
But I mean, you wouldn't know that.
What you mean?
If somebody played you, I'm not hip and with it. Somebody played you like that. You wouldn't know it until they went, just kidding.
Or psych, yeah. But I mean, at the time,
April Fools.
That sucked though. And I still remember to this day, I'm 37 years old.
Yeah. But it shapes you.
Yeah.
I think that's where we get into the time heals all. Time does heal all in sort of, to me, and how I was sort of saying it.
Okay.
But just because you're healed from it doesn't mean it doesn't still influence your decisions or your decision making.
Yeah. Another example. I hate my examples because yours are always really good and mine's really suck. But whatever. So in high school, I'm not going to tell you what high school I went to. I went to 3 high schools, so I could technically say
You've already said all 3 names early on.
Did I?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no way.
Couple of times.
That's fine. Anyway, I'm not in high school anymore, so it don't matter. So the second high school I went to, there's a very common area you could go to. Is a wide open space.
Was it called the Commons?
I don't know.
Ours was called the Commons.
It might have been, but it was indoors. I don't remember. Yeah. But it was near the front office. So you go and you walk in and it opens up. Excuse me. And then you have hallways down underneath.
Okay.
And then if you want to, you go upstairs to the next hallways.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
We didn't have upstairs.
Y'all have upstairs. Y'all don't have shit. It's the country. But
well, we had stairs at my elementary school.
Oh, okay.
Because it was old.
Every school I've gone to or left has been completely rebuilt. Oh. I'm so jealous because I went to all these raggedy ass buildings.
Well, my elementary school has been rebuilt, and I was devastated.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings too. All of my schools have. But so if you went down the right side on the first floor and went through, it leads to the cafeteria.
Okay.
So I was walking through the door, smacked a girl with the door on accident, not on purpose.
It was on purpose.
No, I was just on my way.
If you're that girl and you're listening now, it was 100% on purpose.
No, so I walked through the door, smacked the shit out of her. And she was like, "What the fuck with your ugly ass?" And that destroyed my feelings.
Aww.
But
and now look at you, 8.5.
Sir, this is
time heals all wounds.
No. But that, and then people talking about like light-skinned dudes are stuck up and all this other shit. Those things.
You really took a lot of these to heart.
Fuck yeah.
I knew this from our conversations as we walked around. I was like, wow, you really.
I think about these things.
You really took that to heart.
Yeah. But I don't sit around and like wallow in that shit.
Yeah.
Just like when you've gone through things, I'm pretty sure you don't wallow in it because you're pretty cynical like I am.
Well, but are we cynical because of these events?
Probably a little bit of both. Because I think some of it is, at least for me, as a defense mechanism to not be those things that people have said or whatever, or try not to be the stereotype. Yeah. But then at the same time, sometimes I play into it. And I think most people play into some of it, at least to a certain degree. You're not going to just experience shitty moments in your life and be like, I'm cool. Yeah. Like you said, it's going to shape you. But then at the same time, do you hold on to it or do you do like me and you and we make jokes out of it?
Well, let me give you an example.
I guess it's a story time today.
Well, my first relationship, long-term relationship.
Okay.
You know, I don't share a lot of details about it. I don't share a lot of details about it. I give some vaguety. But here's a little detail.
Yes, sir.
When it ended, one of the sentences that was said to me was, "I'm not in love with you, and I'm not sure I ever was."
You ain't never told me that.
Was one of the sentences.
No, not even off the podcast. You've never said that.
That was one of the sentences.
That wasn't nice.
Well, here's the thing. In the moment.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
I was hurt.
Yeah. That sucks.
Shortly after, not years later, but shortly after, I think my brain realized what that meant. Not that I was like digging into it, but that phrase stuck with me. Mm-hmm. And a while later, I started realizing, like, I don't feel the same.
Yeah, but...
Meaning, those last few years, you just moved on. And I hadn't yet.
Oh.
So, skip a few months later, and I realized, like, we were in love.
Yeah.
At one point, we were in love. But now, thinking about it, I'm like, were we? Not in a negative way.
Right.
Not in a negative way toward him, not in a negative way toward myself. But Tom, I went, it's odd to think we ever were. Because I now no longer see that person in that way.
Right. You're just like this.
Again, not in a negative way.
Right.
But I'm like, wow, we were in love at some point, but we're not anymore. And now I understand what you were trying to tell me. You just didn't have all the words that I had.
Right.
That I've had time to process because of your sentence.
Right.
That to me is Tom. I didn't do anything. I was just open enough to go, I think I know what he means. That sentence destroyed me.
Okay.
That sentence, like, whatever esteem I had was gone. Not self-esteem, because that's self.
Yes.
But whatever level of esteem that he made me feel with us being together,
went crashing down.
It was demolished, incinerated, never to return again in that way. But with Tom, I realized, not in a malicious way, I don't feel that way about you either.
Right.
And now it's odd to think we ever did.
Yeah, but see, that's why I say I think that in my perspective, I think that sounds like what I'm saying. It's not necessarily that y'all healed. I think time makes the memories, whether they're good or bad, I think time makes the memories less vivid. And when your memories become less
it's vivid.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
In my mind, I can tell you where we were standing. I could take you to that house right now.
Okay.
And if the person that bought it from us, if she's still there, and she would let us walk back there to it, I could show you exactly where we were standing vividly. I could probably show you what outfit I was wearing.
Okay.
Vividly in my mind, it's there. But it now doesn't hurt me to think about it. Now I think about that moment and I go, that makes total sense now.
But you also reflected on it. See, and I think
time.
Yeah, but not everybody.
But also the action of opening myself up to go, let me see. How else can I look at this same thing?
But how many people are really doing that though? For one, again, because a lot of times, I think I've said this on here before, but I've heard it a bunch of times. Whatever you're in a relationship or whatever it is, if you're together for 5 years and you break up.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I've said it before, but you spent
half of it breaking up.
But then if we go back to the beginning when we start talking, if it's a death, how does time heal that? Because you can't go back and talk to the person. They're already gone. Those memories are still there, but I think those memories start to fade. Not fade off like they never existed, but just how vivid they are, like where you were, like the shitting in the backyard. I don't remember much of that. I don't even remember who I was playing with, but I do remember shitting, trying to get in the house first before I shit in the backyard. All of that.
The highlight reel.
That's what I'm saying. Or like going through the hallway. I remember hitting somebody with the door. I remember being cursed out and feeling like shit for the rest of the day. But I don't even remember who the girl was. I don't even think it was somebody I actually knew.
And she probably didn't even see you.
Might not have.
She probably said those words.
Because she got hit by the door.
To not cry. Like she probably self-defense went, ugly ass bitch.
All right.
And had no idea who opened the door.
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying?
But I remember her looking dead in my face and destroying my little 9th grade world. But you see what I'm saying? That's all good. But those are moments, again, whether it be death, relationships, interactions with people, I still don't think time actually heals it. I think it takes some of the bite out of it. Does that make sense?
But is that not healing?
I don't
Here's
think
the thing. When you're, let's say grandparent, somebody that's already dead.
Okay.
I'll take my grandpa.
Okay.
Me and Ginger Seasoning laughed at the funeral.
Okay. My strong
when he
hand.
buster the Amish. Listen. Oh, check that camera right here. Check camera one. Camera one, are you okay? Camera one got hit in the movement. Okay. It got shifted. Boss. Hey. What is it?
What?
I know they left. I know, buddy. I know. You scared them off.
So stupid.
Bless them. What was I going to say? Oh, the parent.
Yeah.
So my grandfather, when I found out he died, I was at my first job ever, my first non-family related, family gotten job. And I was a host at a restaurant. And I remember checking my phone. We had flip phones back then. And I had a missed call from my dad.
Okay.
Which was weird.
What you mean?
My dad, to this day, I'm 38.
Yes,
I was 19.
Okay.
My dad probably has called me 7 times.
In your adulthood?
In 20 years. So it's, when my dad calls me, it's something.
Oh, usually your mom calls.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
So I had a missed call from my dad. So I call him back because there was another person there that I was like, this is my dad. I need to call him back. Like, this is not normal. So I called him back and my dad is crying.
And he don't even seem like a crying man. I've met him a few times.
Well, bless him. He's got a little tenderness in there.
Oh, that's cool.
But I've only seen him cry a few times. But
I don't think I've seen my daddy cry one time. I'll tell you that story when you get done.
So we hate him.
No, I can't tell that story. Never mind. Go ahead.
So anyway, my dad was I could hear that he was like at least tearing up. You know how your voice kind of cracks a little bit. Whatever. So anyway, he says, where are you? I said, I'm at work.
You're right.
And he goes, you're going to have to leave. And I said, I don't know if I can leave because in the restaurant world, I was the person that got us to the dinner shift at the host stand.
Oh, okay.
So there was 2 of us. They get to leave, and then I'm there until the dinner host, the first
it's kind of a shift change kind of thing. Yeah. You lost at first. I was like, wait, what? I got you.
So he tells me, well, your he died, and we're meeting at your grandmother's house, not this one,
right?
My mom's,
right?
And you need to be there.
Okay.
And I remember hanging up the phone and just bawling my eyes out, sitting on the couch of the restaurant waiting area, just like crying. Vividly remember that. I know where I was. Here's what I don't remember. I can't tell you who the other host was.
She don't matter.
Well, she didn't matter at the time.
Yeah.
She was very nice.
Right.
And I remember, I know which manager happened to walk by and was like, Kirk, are you okay? Like, these people had never seen me cry. And I'm sobbing.
He probably should have said, can you step out for a moment?
But here's the thing. I went from sobbing to we're now laughing at the funeral.
That's okay, though. But that wasn't the same day either.
Days. 2 days. 3 days. This is what I was going to say about time healing.
Oh,
I don't love my grandparents any less.
No, of course not.
They're not here.
Right.
But I still hold them in that same memory and good memory and regard. But I'm not sitting on a couch seat bawling my eyes out. You can't tell me that I haven't healed. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't say, nope, never heals, because every day I don't bawl my eyes out thinking about this death. My grandfather is just as dead today as he was that day.
You might be right.
So I'm not saying that it needs to be right or wrong. I'm just saying time heals regardless, because I'm not bawling my eyes out every single day
Yeah, I'll tell you my story. Okay, both of my grandfathers.
Oh, real quick, let me tell you this before I forget. So, going back to Dia de los Muertos.
Day of the Dead, yes.
The first time I had a celebration here, I need to do it again. That was so much fun.
I would love an invite.
Me.
I'll be here.
But camera one, I've already told you.
I'll be here. I didn't say who else will be here.
Anyway, I don't like to have my shat on. So, when I was growing up, we had 2 Great Danes, Brandy and Charlie. One was mine and one was my sister's.
Okay. Like full-fledged, big-ass Great Danes?
Yes. We got them. We got them as puppies.
They're beautiful. They're just big.
My Brandy and Charlie were wonderful. I have nothing but fond memories of laying outside on the porch on a summer day, and I had my head on one, and I had my feet propped up on the other, just laying out. I mean, like, just great memories.
I heard they don't live that long because they're so big. Like 10 years?
15. Mine,
that's good.
Ours lived to 12 and 13.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Charlie lived to 12, and then Brandy died a year later. She just wasn't the same after, So anyway, in my mind, when I think Brandy and Charlie, I see myself from my eyes, one of them behind me with my head on it, and one of them laying at my feet and my feet propped up. If they walked through that door right now, I'd have no idea who they were. Really? I found a picture of them. Now, keep in mind, this is from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, sir.
So the picture is not great quality.
It's not HD, 1080p.
But there is one picture. I think I may still have it. Remind me when we're done. I'll see if it's over there. I think I gave it back to my mom so it would be safe in the book. Mm-hmm. But so there's a picture, and I found it in a photo album at my mom's, and so I put it out. Yeah. Because you put pictures of the dead on the table, and I saw the picture, and I went, "Oh my God, is that Brandy and Charlie?" I couldn't tell you what they looked like.
For big ass Great Danes?
They were full black.
Both?
Huge. Both.
They look like...
They did the white.
Yeah, they look like love seats. That's how big they are. Them sheets are like love seat dogs.
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah.
They were huge. They were horses. But in my mind, they're a black blob and a black blob. I didn't remember their faces.
Okay.
So when I saw that picture, I went, "Oh my God. I didn't..."
That's what they look like.
My dog, my dog Punchkin, who's passed away, R.I.P.
Right.
I still remember her face.
Yeah.
And I thought they had the same face. And they didn't.
Punchkin wasn't a Great Dane, though.
She wasn't. But she had a little Great Dane in her.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't have the same face.
No.
And for years, the day I met Punchkin, I went...
I'll never forget.
I was like, I love her. She's so sweet. She's scared of everything. Drove me nuts.
Right.
But I love her. She looks just like Brandy and Charlie. She looks nothing like Brandy and Charlie.
You're horrible.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, it's those moments. Like, when my dogs died, my dad, those are the 2 times that I saw my dad cry when I was a kid.
Right.
Was when Brandy died, when Charlie died, and then a year later, Brandy died. Mm-hmm. And I cried. Mm-hmm. But I don't cry every day for them the same way. Because time is healed.
But has it healed, or is it... Because when you first find out, it's new information. But over the years, it's not new information anymore.
That's true. But if we don't heal, we should have the same reaction every day to waking up and realizing they're not there.
You think so? I think we get...
Don't you think?
Well, I'm just asking.
Okay.
Maybe it's almost the same way like in a relationship when you live together and you get comfortable. Maybe we become comfortable with that memory. Not necessarily comfortable like in a good way.
But is that healing?
I don't know.
Like, okay, for me, when that first relationship ended with that sentence.
That's a shitty sentence to close the door. It's like, ka-chung! Hey, just in case you didn't know.
I was 400 pounds and climbing.
Now we're 6'6" stallion.
I genuinely thought if he didn't love me, nobody will.
All right, RuPaul.
I genuinely thought that. And I think that's why it took me so long to get on an app. To then get ghosted. But
1 year in?
I know. 1 year, a week and a day ago. Yes. But I think that's when Only and I started.
Okay.
I think there was a part of me that was skeptical.
About him or the possibilities?
About us. Not because of anything he did.
Right, because he was new, yeah.
But in my mind, it was, nobody's ever going to love me.
Okay.
Because the person that I spent 13 years with turns out never did.
Which is a crock of shit, yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? These things go, ugly ass bitch.
Yeah.
It goes through your mind. Yeah. It goes through your mind.
Yeah.
But I think there was then I was ghosted. So that didn't help.
Right.
So there was some skepticism of, all right, we'll just take this as it goes. As the days go on, we'll just take it as the days go on. Okay. And now, a year in,
I think you're good to go, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, this is way before a year in. But there came a certain day where I just didn't think about that anymore.
That's good though.
But I think that's healing.
It might be.
That I think the difference between time heals all wounds, people think that means you're completely healed. It will never be a memory. It will never come back to you. It will never shape how you make a decision. It'll never do anything because it's healed. It doesn't say time heals completely every wound. It says time heals all wounds.
So it's not going to stab like a knife and twist like it used to.
So when I say ugly ass bitch, it doesn't hit you as hard as it did the day she said that.
Right.
When if Only were to disappear, I would be devastated.
Yeah.
But my ability to go, that has nothing to do with me.
Ah, gotcha.
I'm getting better and better at going, that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I've genuinely done everything that I could do. There's nothing that I regret. There's no decision that I've made where I went, oh, I wish I'd have made this other decision.
Yeah, but you also have been giving your all. And some people, and some people.
And I feel that all is being reciprocated.
Mutual, 100% effort. But I don't know. Okay, I'll give an example. Like, okay, my first year in the Navy, I think I've said the date when I joined, but November 13, 2007. So within my
write that down in your calendars. We'll celebrate.
Gives a shit. But within my first year, both of my grandfathers died.
Okay.
One passed away. I'm gonna mess up my mom's dad passed away on Christmas Day, and my dad's dad passed away. I'm probably gonna have the date wrong, and I apologize to whoever's listening. I graduated boot camp January 3rd, 2008, and I remember going. For me, I went across the street. Boot camp is in Great Lakes. And then they also have A school, which is where you learn your job across, not literally across the street, but it's like you drive around the corner, it's down the street. But we always joke across the street. So
around the block.
Yeah. So I got the news that my dad's dad had passed. And I'm like just got into A school. So I don't know how none of this shit is. I've been in boot camp for 2-3 months, getting yelled at, blah, blah, blah. And I'm in my room, I get the information. I'm like, holy shit. And to this day, I can't tell you who called me. I think my aunt, I'm not going to say her name, my dad's sister, I believe she called me. Somebody called me.
Yeah.
And then my barracks room was 4th or 5th floor. I got to go all the way downstairs. I'm not in uniform because you're not really supposed to go to the office out of uniform. It's to teach you military bearing or posture, whatever. So I get down to the office.
Manners.
Well,
what's proper?
Military bearing is like how you conduct yourself, appropriately conducting yourself among
professional conduct.
There you go. Because people listen like, what the hell is military bearing? But yes, it's be professional at work, but in the military. So I get down to the front office. I'm not in uniform because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to go about reporting or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm down there. I'm standing at attention. I got on street clothes. And I'm standing there, I'm like, my grandmother, and they're like,
you're like, Pappy's gone.
Yes. And they're like, you're good. Like, what's wrong? And I'm like, my grandfather passed. And I'm crying like hell. I'm trying to like attention and all that dumb shit. Yeah. And, you know what I mean? So I'm starting to get
salute. You're tearing up now.
Shut up. But no. So
maybe Tom doesn't heal
exactly. But no, it was weird. So, but I'm kind of like you. Like I remember getting the phone call. As I've said, I don't remember who called me.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who the chain of command managers or whatever you want to call it, because they don't know what chain of command is. But I don't remember who was in the office because again, this is 14 years ago. But like I don't remember who my
unit leader. My unit leader told me I could go.
Yes, at ease, sailor. But like I went downstairs. I don't remember who was even in the office. I remember one of them was a black dude. He was cool. Oh, sorry, I hit the cord. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just looking to make sure. Oh, because your arm's near the mouse.
Oh shit. But I don't remember who I actually said it to. I know one of them was a black dude. He was cool. And then like I just remember them saying, "What's wrong?"
Sorry.
But you laughing at my despair.
I'm just realizing how stupid I sounded when I was like, "Pappy's dead," and you're like tearing up. I felt bad.
There's no actual.
Number one, we're shatting on bitches.
You got a little flustered, but nah. So I remember they told me I had to get an Amcross message, American Red Cross.
Oh.
Yeah, like your family, it's just as sad as it sounds, there are people who lie and say, oh, my family member died, and then they go home on leave.
I could see that.
Yeah, of course.
I could see you doing that.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
Serious is so hard to tell. That's cool though. No worries. But no, so I had to get an Amcross sent. And then they do this thing, because I was fresh out of boot camp. Like I might have been.
So like they had to send the death certificate.
I don't know. I don't know if it was a death certificate or I think the American Red Cross just verifies the time of death or whatever it is.
Did Pappy die? Yeah. All right, Pappy's dead.
Yeah, he died for real. We got you. Mr. Chappelle can go. You know what I mean? Like, but
Pappy Chappelle has died.
Yeah.
Junior can go see him.
Yeah. They did that. They had to run and get like a quick loan or something. It was a whole to-do about it. But I'm like you. Like I don't.
It's like HR is now at most jobs.
Yes. But this was in 2008.
Oh my God.
Because I had to fly home. Like I had to get a flight.
Oh, it was a big.
Yeah, it was a big to do about things. But same thing with my mom's dad. Like he passed.
But you were in boot camp when he passed. Did you get to leave boot camp?
No. I was neither. No, I got out of boot camp. Graduation was January 3rd. So my dad's dad passed away, give or take the end of January, beginning of, I think it was February. Again, I'm not. I don't have. It was 15 years ago.
But Christmas would have been...
No, the following Christmas. I was in boot camp for Christmas.
Oh.
But I'm saying within 360, whatever, I seen your ass. Between 365 days, they both passed.
Camper one, am I the only one that thought this was boot camp Christmas?
No, they both.
Then right after boot camp was over, pre-A school, we had Pappy too, Pappy Chappelle.
No, both of my grandfathers passed away in 2008. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
One at the beginning, one at the end.
Sort of like me. I was born in the first of the year. You were born in the end of the year.
Absolutely. What a quick day.
And we're the same age. Okay. I got you.
See what I'm saying? So,
well, but I do think time heals all wounds. Again, time doesn't heal the wound completely every single time, but time heals it to a certain level every wound.
Maybe it heals it like physical wounds. It's healed, but there's still the scar.
Yeah, maybe.
You think so?
Sounded good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just asking.
Well, I had surgery.
Yes. Intense pain as we cough and laugh.
Oh my God, I'm still in pain. I can see the scars of my hernia surgery from 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. But they're very faint.
You been using Neosporin? No.
I did at the time.
Oh, okay.
But these are glued instead of stitches. These are glued.
That's a new thing. Right?
It's a new thing.
Okay.
So these don't have stitches. They're glued.
Okay.
But when they heal, quote unquote, it'll just look like a cut.
Oh, okay.
It won't look like
a scar.
A big, right. Like, because the stitches is where the skin sort of does that bubble up.
Right.
And so you have a big bubble up. the tape doesn't bubble up.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know
so
that.
We'll see. I'll let you know how it goes in a year or two.
Post some pictures on the gram.
Might put it on the gram. But no, I think that might be a good way to think about it. Is I think the emotional wounds, they do affect. Well, for example, I told you, if the thought creeps in my mind that maybe me and Only are growing apart, or, I'm going to say something out loud.
Yeah, you said you're going to speak on it immediately.
I would have never said anything and didn't all those years with the first one.
But that shows some fight, though, which is a good thing.
Well, it does, but it's also like, just because an emotional wound affects my decision-making, it doesn't mean it's negative.
Wait, what you mean?
Like that, because that relationship was so long and then it ended, how it ended,
right.
I'm now going to be more communicative.
Oh, it gives you a positive response.
So now the result of that emotional wound
is a positive.
I'm doing something that I should have done to begin with.
Yeah, but
I now have something to remind me, don't hold that in. Say that out loud.
Don't sit around here wallowing. Yeah.
So it can, like yours, you may have thought, well, this group of girls are out of my league because I'm an ugly ass bitch. So you may have missed out on an opportunity to meet one of those groups of girls that would have been just as suitable. Yeah. Not saying you didn't, but that may be perceived as a negative result of this moment.
Yeah, I definitely think it made me go about dating in my younger years very differently. Because I definitely emphasize self-confidence. But I will admit that it's been influenced, even though it had not now, but it was influenced umpteen years ago, even though it's my responsibility to, I guess, manage my esteem. And I know that doesn't make sense, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, control my reaction to the insult.
Right.
And so, I don't know. I guess it does heal it, like you said, but maybe not the instantaneous, it's perfect, everything's good to go, because that's not real.
Well, and I mean, it might be like, let's say an anniversary.
Right.
Let's say Billy Joe died on January 3rd.
Right.
There will be years where you're like,
yeah, it hurts more than other years.
Wow. I cannot believe it's been 2 years since Billy Joe.
Right.
And then maybe you think of some good memories or whatever.
Exactly.
And but then you have 365 more days before Billy Joe crosses your mind in that way again.
Right.
You can't say, I'll never heal Billy Joe. Right. I will, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Billy Joe, every January 3rd, Billy Joe,
right.
You're not going to feel that way. And there's going to be years where January 23rd, you're going to go, shit, we missed Billy Joe Day.
Exactly. But when that January 3rd swings around for Billy Joe, if I agree with you, like how you respond to it matters. If you do a balloon release one year, or you have like you said, kind of a similar to I can't pronounce it, but
Dia de los
yes, please.
I'm not sure I'm spelling it right. I'm not sure I'm saying it right with the correct tongue action and movement.
But if you go about it in that same spirit of that, like, and you have a cookout and we reminisce on how cool what did you say, Billy Joe?
Billy Joe.
Yeah, Billy Joe's dad. I can't remember him either, but I'm just saying, if you have a moment where y'all get together and you celebrate his life, or you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think your response to the trauma, and I know that it's not really either way, if you respond to it or how you respond to, I think that makes a difference too.
Right.
If you go about it in a celebratory way, you're not wallowing in it and like, oh, this person died or this person dumped me. Like if you respond to it, or like how people, like I've seen this new trend. Have you seen it? The divorce party. Those are kind of cool. They're kind of shady, but they're kind of cool at the same time.
Smart.
Yeah.
I think what we're getting to as our culture is delving more and more into mental health. Yeah. And I don't mean the serious ones.
Right.
But I mean, emotional wounds. I think the more we're understanding those, the more that we as a whole people are realizing, like, divorce parties and separation
it's
parties.
It's okay to say, yay.
It's okay to say,
yeah,
we're better not together.
Yeah.
We may have had 10 great years that we were together and it was great.
The last 5 sucked ass.
But the last 5, we should not have been together. And now that we're not together, it really is a good thing.
I've seen couples that are better off as friends.
Have you seen that one where it was a divorce party and they're both there?
Yes.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Why not?
But that's a mature way to handle it. I seen a clip of Family Feud. Celebrity Family Feud.
Okay.
So it's on the internets. So you can't blame me for telling somebody business. Wayne Brady. You know Wayne Brady, right? The black guy, comedian.
Yeah.
Can sing like hell.
Oh my God. Has a beautiful
talented
voice.
As hell.
Yeah.
He's on Family Feud. He's obviously on his side, he's the lead. His ex-wife.
Obviously.
Stupid. Well, I don't know the rest of it. He's the first person. His ex-wife is next to him. He says, "This is my best friend," which blew my whole mind. Then he says, "I got one better for you. Her boyfriend's right here." And so it's y'all. If you're looking, it's Wayne Brady, his ex-wife, which is his best friend, out of both of their mouths. Then her boyfriend. That shows me some maturity.
Oh yeah,
and they're not wallowing in. And it's okay that they were mature.
Well, and you don't have to hang out to be mature.
No.
But you shouldn't shit on that other person.
No. And that's grown as hell. Y'all on TV together and literally say, that's my ex-wife.
Yeah.
That's my best friend.
Yeah.
That's her boyfriend. We cool.
But I think time had to heal that.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm sure they did.
You know what I'm saying?
Besties
but there's a great example of time heals.
Yes.
Now, they had to do some more action to heal it to a point where they could be best friends and he could be there with her new boyfriend.
Oh, hell yeah, because I'm punching your ass. You ain't gonna make out
no,
with
I
me.
mean, here's my thing. When my first relationship didn't work out, I genuinely was like, I hope that I can move on and I hope that you can too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want either of us to sit and wallow.
No, hell no.
In something that
it's not even healthy. Not even.
We didn't fix it. Must not have thought it was good enough to fix.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we didn't think it was good enough to fix, why are we wallowing in it ending?
Exactly.
That too.
Yeah, you can't sit in it, but if you're not proactive enough to do something about it after it's ended, again, or if it's a death or something like that, if you're not proactive and go seek some help, you're gonna be stuck sitting in it. Not saying you have to get help, but if you're not mature enough to respond to it the right way, you sit in it. And then you don't heal.
And a friend of mine, her mom died.
Okay.
And anytime someone like the topic would say something where her response was, you know, my mom, she would tear up.
Oh.
Well, it's been a few years. So now when she says my mom, she smiles.
Yeah. See?
She doesn't tear up.
She good. Smiles. Yeah.
Though that's a progression. It may have now. How many years it took her versus how many years it may take me or how many years it takes you.
It's based on the individual.
Yeah, that's going to depend on you as an individual. But you're not crying every time you say my mom.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's cool, yeah. Because that would suck to 10 years after it's all happened. You sit around and you're like, you my mom, and I can't tell somebody how fast to heal from it.
Right.
But that's good that
10 years might be. 10 years might be a little stretch.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, I told you.
That's a long time.
You get a week in the closet, bring your ass on.
I said in 10 days. Just to remind the camera one, I said 10 days.
Well, I said we're both cynical, just different ways. Well,
but there's a difference between I am devastated to the point where I can't function. If I died yesterday.
Yes.
There will come another gay white man.
Tribute episode.
There will come another gay white man where y'all can have a different podcast.
No, I'm not replacing you, sir.
You know what I'm saying, though.
No, I don't.
If you were, no, with a different name, it wouldn't be the same name. But there'll be another gay white man that comes along that makes stupid comments.
So you basically telling me that if I died yesterday, y'all doing a new podcast with another.
Well, no, because I don't know how to do any of this stuff. Gabsies doesn't know how to do it either.
I get the studio; they'll do it for you.
But it's like if I died yesterday,
right?
As much as like saying it like hurts my heart a little bit. God, I hope somebody comes along that loves only as much as I do.
Well, I would hope that
I mean.
Never
I
gets to
hope
be with
that somebody
again.
comes along and can't take care of him for his wisdom teeth. I already did that. But, maybe he has to have a surgery and they take care of him and they're, they're sweet to each other. I hope for, you know what I mean?
Well, you'll be around for a while.
Well, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, so like when I look at someone else who's having a hard time, I think when people say, I want you to move on, I think they genuinely mean it. Like when somebody goes, Juicy Couture would want you to move on. I believe that. Because I do. You're going to mourn and be like, Kirk's not here anymore for the rest of your life. Like, oh my God, that would break my heart. Me up there on the stage, I'd be like, no. Here's another white gay man. Say hey to him.
He's got to say hey first.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be like, oh my God, girl. Get up, girl.
No, if I do another podcast and you fade away into nothingness,
I will say this.
Yes, sir.
If I died yesterday and tomorrow you've got...
You gonna feel away.
Juicy Couture podcast going. I might throw something at you from the stage.
That's a bullshit.
But if a year from now,
that's fair.
I might be like, oh, I'm so glad they found, he found another person. I would do a
totally different podcast.
But you know what I'm saying.
I would do a sports podcast. I wouldn't even. It wouldn't
but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's sort of like.
It'd be sporty with good intentions.
my long-term relationship, he found his current boyfriend a year after ours was over. Great. Yeah. I was thrilled for him.
Right.
That's what I wanted. I think that's when I knew I'm okay. Because
he wasn't salty. Yeah.
It didn't hurt my feelings. And I was genuinely like, oh, good.
But that takes maturity too, to not sit and be salty.
Yeah.
Whether you found, or whoever the person is,
right.
Once your ex or has found somebody new, and you don't be like, fuck that motherfucker. Like when you get to a point, you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's maturity too, though.
Right.
So, do you think maturity has something to do with it as well as time?
Yeah. I mean, I think there are people that I think genuinely are like, I'll die on this cross for the rest of my life, and then just do it
for no reason. I'm committed to being salty. Like,
die on that cross.
Yeah,
girl.
You got it. I'm not sitting around salty.
You're good. You hang out over there. Don't feel any need to call me over.
I'm not good at holding on to. Only person I'm good at holding on to anger against is you. We already know, but that guy, Pops. But anyway, outside of him. I'm not good at holding.
Daddy Chappelle.
Yes, but I'm not good at holding on to anger towards people. It takes it takes so much to make me angry.
So much energy.
It is
so much energy. If you're out there, camera one, it's too much energy to do. It's too much.
Let it go.
Look, it's so much. And the person, if you're like heartbroken over somebody's death, I promise
that's different.
They do not want you to. I promise you, they do not want you to. And the longer you hold on to it, the worse it's going to be. Only for you.
Yes, because the other person is doing them. And if they've passed, they are already passed.
They're passed.
Respectfully, yeah. They're gone.
They're on the stage.
Yeah. So you sit in it and wallow in it by yourself.
And they don't want you to. I promise you they don't want you to.
No.
But like I said, if I died yesterday and tomorrow you've got Juicy Couture, I might come back from the stage.
Like, oh, bitch, what you doing?
But if a year later or 2 years later, I'd be like, oh, I'm glad he found Juicy Couture. Or only in the same way, like, please don't.
Right.
Like, yes, remember me fondly.
Yeah.
And
want to get your name tattooed on his chest.
He doesn't have to do all that. But I mean, remember me fondly, and every once in a while, let me pop in your head and you smile. But I genuinely hope you find.
But that's a good thing.
Someone who loves you as much as I do
and smile. You know what I mean?
Say what?
I said that's cool if a person has fond memories and smiles about something that was sad.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, my first long-term relationship, I never talk about it. But it's my only example that I have. That's why I always say it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'll have a memory and I'm like, oh God, we were so stupid. And I laugh. you know what I mean? I'm not like, I'm in love again.
You're like, no,
that was a good moment. Like, that was dumb. We were dumb. God bless, we were dumb. Yeah. And then I laugh about it, and then I move on with my day.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, though. That's human nature. You don't have a choice of what pops in your head. You have a choice on how you respond to it when it pops in your head, or after it pops in your head, whatever you call it.
But I mean,
this is a good episode. I like this one. Yeah.
Time heals all wounds. It just may not heal.
Say.
Well, it just may not heal them the way you hope they would heal.
I agree with that.
Or as fast as you hope they would heal.
No, you definitely can't put a time limit or time constraint. Limit?
I think those are the same thing.
Yeah, kind of. Like expectation. Would you say you can or cannot put it? I would say you can't put an expectation or a.
The day after surgery, I was like, I want to wake up and go back to my exact life that I had before this surgery started.
No.
Turns out,
no.
Here I still sit.
Yes.
Hoping to get my life back. At any moment, it'll happen. But it'll happen when I realize it'll happen when it'll happen.
Yeah.
And it will. Yeah. It will. And that's why I'm saying, if you are having a hard time with something, camera one, if you're out there, if you're having a hard time with something, don't beat yourself up about it.
No, you can't.
Because it's going to heal when it heals.
Yeah, you have no control. I don't talk to camera.
But actions help.
Yeah.
Like making a fond memory.
Therapy.
Doing something in honor of that person. Yes. Going to therapy. Yes. Let me tell you, there's now online therapy.
Yeah,
I think
you
most
can do
insurances
Zoom
cover
therapy now.
But even if I think we're realizing as a people that therapy is not.
It doesn't have the stigma on it.
Just for these serious conditions that people can't.
I don't have to be crazy. I'm using it loosely, crazy, air quotes, to go to therapy.
Right.
It can be for something as simple as dealing with somebody who passed.
Yeah.
Or it could be with, like I say, a shitty breakup. Or like me, daddy issues. Or if you're.
When are you going to start that therapy?
Never. No, I'm going to one of these days. I'm going to see him in a month. I'm dreading it. But whatever. He can't listen to it, so.
Try not.
I got the joke. I make fun of myself, too.
Try not to expect anything.
That's what I'm working on.
Try not to expect something's going to happen or nothing's going to happen.
That's my problem.
Just go, when he gets here.
We'll see what happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
That's my problem. I'm like, it's going to be amazing.
But I think every time, remind yourself, the whole time he's there, remind yourself, whatever happens while he's here.
Yes, what will be, will be. Yes. Because my sister does it that way. My sister is a beast with her emotions when it comes to him. I don't know about other stuff because that ain't my business. But when it comes to him, she's basically what you said.
Yeah.
It's going to be,
it will be.
Yeah. So I'm working on it.
It'll be whatever it'll be.
WIP, work in progress.
Gabsies, what are we going to do with it? Okay. Speaking of time.
Yes. I'm sure you want to spend some time with Only and kick me the fuck out.
Well, time constraints. Speaking of time constraints and quality time from last week.
Absolutely.
We have Nosey with good intentions at gmail.com. Please send us a message because we haven't had a message in a while.
Yeah.
And I kind of like getting a message.
I did too. I was thinking about that on the way up here.
You can also do the Instagram.
Yeah.
Nosey with good intentions.
We respond.
Michael _Skinner
or Kirk Fowler 84.
We have Nosey with good intentions at gmail.com.
Forgot already?
Instagram. I forgot which ones I said. YouTube.
Yeah.
You can also leave us a comment on
Absolutely.
YouTube. Nosey with good intentions. We also have the petty episodes on there as well. They're now separated so you can watch them individually.
Yes, indeed.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you get to know every time we post.
Absolutely.
We did miss 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Check last week's episode for the explanation. We also have the TikTok, Nosey with good intentions. There's a little surprise there if you can find it. And then Nosey good, Twitter. She's limping along.
Did you say Snapchat?
Snapchat,
yeah.
Which if you have Michael's number will come up Michael Chappelle. If you don't have Michael's number, it'll come up Nosey with good intentions.
Yes, I hate that. I like that and I hate it because it's cool that if you have my number and you have my name, so you know who it is.
Yeah.
But it sucks because it's like, it's not my Snapchat, it's this Snapchat.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks, but it's kind of like...
Which only features Michael on the Snapchat.
Well, I mean, you're never around.
Or the TikTok. Our TikTok and our Snapchat.
Oh, we got to do some TikToks. I'm working on that.
Only show Michael. I am there. I'm just in the background at the undisclosed location.
No, I do.
Nowhere near the recording of it.
I'm working on that.
Anyway. Is that all of them?
If not, just type in Nosey with good intentions. You'll find it. On Google.
All the rest. And they're scrolling probably now.
Yeah, they're scrolling. They've probably been scrolling because, yeah. All right. Thank you for listening to our Nosey Nonsense.
See you next time.